Howdy and aloha, everyone. It's James with Monotalk. It is July 12th, 2024. This is Monotalk. Monotalk is mana, power, spiritual power, whatever, and talking. Because I think that talking is important. I think that people should have dialogue and debate and evolve. But there are times when you need to stand your ground. You know, there are times when you need to stand firm on your beliefs. And you may be wrong, and you may be off. But that's your right as a human being. Period. So there are a lot of people out there that don't like what I believe or what I think or what my perception is or how I perceive things or how I translate or bring information to people or how I convey myself or my opinions and my thoughts and beliefs, etc., etc. And that's just too fucking bad. Because I've always been about the 99.9%, you know, the little guy, not the global elite. I've always been about you and me, you know, hopefully trying to get us, you know, just the things that we should have and need and you know, fair wage, honest day's pay, good job, education, some health care, you know, better food, better water, pure. You know, the word organic should not even exist. It should just be fucking pure food. But that's changing. And, you know, pollution. I just don't like pollution. I think we really need to work on that. I mean, I want my kids, my grandkids, and thereafter to be able to swim in the lakes and the rivers and the oceans that I grew up in. Some of those rivers, lakes, and even coastal areas you can't swim in them because they're dangerous. They're poisoned. So we need to work on that. You know, I mean, there are fish that you could catch 100 years ago in a pond or a lake or a stream or a river with no problems, right? And now you're like, oh, I don't think we should eat it here because there's a big factory, a Dow Chemical or lab or some nuclear plant or whatever around the corner, who knows, spewing out junk. And we do. We have a lot of junk. You know, like Carlin said, we got a lot of stuff. George Carlin. So there's a lot of things that we need to fix as a species. I think most of all, we need to know who the enemy is, right? And we continue to fight each other, right? And it's constant. And you know, I'm not trying to make amends with anybody because there are people out there that they're gone. You just can't do anything about. And then there are people out there that will hear information or get information from mainstream media, or somebody says it to them, or something happens where they see editorial or peer review, whatever, and they'll get a immediate reaction of concern, of course, or maybe they'll be elated by good news. But there's a lot of things out there that need to be dissected, right? They need to be dug into. I've always said, you know, question authority and its sources at every turn. That's been like one of my Monotalk logos, or mantras, that is. And it's vital. It's freaking vital that we have that ability to critically think. And critical thinking can be misconstrued, or kind of obfuscated in a sense, because you hear it from, you hear the word cognitive dissonance and critical thinking, and you're not critical thinking, and you've got cognitive dissonance, and da-da-da-da. But if the person can't come to the table and present their information to at least have a debate, right? If they're unable to bring that information, it keeps people divided. It keeps people divided because you need to have these conversations. I mean, Plato, Socrates, even Einstein, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln. I mean, just go back to our founding fathers and great literary novelists, etc., and people that have been, in the media in a sense for a long time, and even those that really haven't, that have been around for maybe hundreds, maybe even thousands of years. Names that I've kind of spouted off just now. Darwin, brilliant man. There's a lot of people out there. Da Vinci, right, and a few other just amazing artists and thinkers of our time. And there are probably many others that weren't even mentioned or noticed, or maybe they were oppressed or censored. We don't know. But what we do know is we have the internet. We have social media. We have a way to converse with each other, how to talk, how to debate, how to have dialogue, how to, this is why I've said about Joe Rogan, the reason why his podcast on Spotify is like number one is because he will have an actual conversation with somebody that he may not even agree with, but he's going to give that person a chance to explain themselves, give that person a chance to bring their information in front of him and try to make the point of what they're trying to convey. Maybe not to curb people's thinking, but maybe just to get people to see a different side of things. That's kind of what I do. Is I get people to kind of look a little deeper. There are rabbit holes, but there is an abyss. There's an abyss down there that's just freaking. It's huge. It's freaking. Why is this glasses over? The Marianas Trench is fucking deep, and we haven't searched. We've only scratched the surface of what we've actually recovered and seen in our own oceans, as much as we like in the universe itself, which is pretty vast and pretty big. So there's a lot of questions out there, right? There's a lot of questions internally. There's a lot of questions externally, and I've always been the guy that says, I don't think we're ever going to know exactly how it all started and who started and what started. And it almost seems like it's infinitive in a sense. I mean, I was watching, Ant-Man, the Quantum Realm or something, and I've watched the movie twice. How it goes so deep, so small, to where it gets past, all the way from, an atom down to a quark to just tiny little particles and within particles, and even a particle is not even small enough. It's no matter what direction you go, it seems like you're just going to keep going. So let's slow down, right? Let's put on the brakes a little bit. And the reason why I say that is because my nephew, when he was really small, he was like 10 or 11, We're all sitting. I said my little quick prayer. God is good. God is great. Thank you for this food we eat. We love our family. We love our friends. We'll be together forever. Amen. That's what I've always said. My boys say it. I think my daughter knows it. It's important to say because you're giving thanks for being here. You're thankful for this moment. And that's when he said, I was asked around the table, what are you thankful for? That's why we're here. What are you thankful for? Somebody would say something, I'm thankful for my car and my house, my wife, and my family, and my nephew. He said, I'm thankful for this moment. I mean, the kid's got 140 IQ. I think he just searched in his brain for the fucking number one answer. And that's what I think we need to do, is we need to cherish the moments that we have. And in order to have those future moments where we're free to think and discuss and debate and have dialogue and have discussions and go to Thanksgivings and go to Christmas dinners and have Easter parades and 4th of July parades and celebrate together and spend time with each other. Because we like each other. Whether you think you do or not, you kind of like each other. I can't have me without you. I mean, I don't know what better way to say it. And I can't have a moment or share my moment just with me. Seems pretty lonely, right? And nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. So it's good to have family. It's good to have friends. It's good to have neighbors. It's good to have a village. It's good to have a community, a job, people that are decent, hardworking, great work ethic. I'm very fortunate where I work. I work with the most dynamic, amazing people. God, I am fortunate as hell. And every moment I spend there, I cherish it because it's great. There are days I'm just like, I'm so fucking tired. This is just dragging. But then all of a sudden I'm just like, think about what my nephew said. Just cherish the moment. Be thankful. Be humble. It's hard. You have your moments. We're up and down. We're not perfect. But we try to live on this earth to enjoy the senses that we have. We live on this earth to try to enjoy this community that we have, this beautiful planet that was given to us by God and Jesus, God, Jesus, and whatever you want to believe. But I think what we need to do is stop being their pawns of division. I think that's just huge. We got to stop. I mean, and the reason why I'm bringing all this up is because I'm trying to figure out the perception. What are the Democratic supporters seeing? What's their perspective? What do they see? How does it appear? How does all this theater appear to them? Do they understand it? I mean, even some Republicans too, I can tell you. But no matter the party, I mean, you're trying to figure out what's vital. So with that being said, it makes a difference on what your immediate village is. It takes a village to raise a child. I've always known that. It's family, friends, neighbors, community, village to bring up a decent kid usually. And there are some wonderful kids out there, and there are some really, they're all around us. They're everywhere. And even some people that are older have decent, I mean, the manners that I've got, manners as in how people have reacted and how they've been extremely, I would say the word would be proper. They're just so proper, like when I was living in West Virginia, excuse me, they get in front of you and while you're shopping, didn't mean to, everybody's just really decent. And that happens a lot here in Missouri. People are just wonderful. I'm blessed, to be out here. It's really inexpensive compared to most of the country, especially in blue states where they're just murdering basically and stealing money from their taxpayers. It's they don't even. Anyway, here's the thing. It's up to you. I mean, bottom line, whatever party, whatever dogma, whatever theism, whatever religion, whatever, village, family you come from, nation, whatever. And I've worked with people from all over the world because I've been in the military and my dad traveled a lot. We've lived in Alaska, Canada, Texas, Hawaii. I've been to Mexico many times, and there are wonderful people everywhere across this planet. Wonderful people. But there are a very small handful of people that try their very hardest to keep us divided. That's their goal. That's their nature. That's they've been using this tactic for a long, long time. And it's worked. It's created wars for them. It's created money for them. Families that you would not even know exist because names have changed. They've branched off. There's not just about a bunch of Rothschilds or Rockefellers. There's also other names. Bear family and all these other just huge oligarchs just all over the fucking planet. But there's just a really, really small percentage of them. The 0.001%, right? And they hold more than half of at least 60% of the wealth of the entire planet. Now, I don't know about you, but that's pretty powerful. A handful of people, maybe 100, 200 people with all this power and all this money and all these resources and all these politicians and officials and prime ministers and presidents, et cetera, and leaders and mayors and governors in the palms of their hands. Puppets on a chessboard. There's a lot going on here with this picture. But that holds true. And the most of them, I would say the great majority of these, from my perspective, extremely narcissistic, extremely sociopathic, extremely pedophilious, and other just horrendous traits. Because $1 bazillion doesn't do it for them. Their senses have become numb, and they want more. They want it all, and they're in the process right now of taking it from you. They're using whoever they can. They will find the best puppet possible. Yeah, and that's where Joe Biden comes in. Can you tell me can you actually say with a straight face that our country, let's kind of bring it down to earth a little bit here, that this particular, in my opinion, illegitimate, right? And I'm going to say that because there's a lot of proof coming out. It's just opening up here and opening up there to show that that's very possibly the case. Stop the steal isn't done yet. Just keep that in mind. Stop the steal isn't done yet. They were shut down. That was totally taken over. That was just a serious, massive, tactical event process. It was kind of like it was a massive undertaking to do all that, to position here and there, to go. It was brilliant, honestly. That whole thing in 2020 was just fucking brilliant. Setting up J6. God, I mean, you have to be at least uh, a little bit. You have to be at least kind of intrigued, right? A little bit, or you feel like you're kind of, you're there. You're like, wow, that's impressive. You're impressed, right? That's impressed. I'm impressed, right? Because that was impressive, right? It's not bad. What they did, what they were able to do. It shows what these people are able to do, and all the resources and all the money and all the power and all the influence. It's still out there. Speaker Johnson. He's possibly worse than McCarthy. Just letting you know. He's just a slimy little fuck, and Trump needs to get rid of that guy as soon as possible. He's going to pander. He's going to plead. But we know where his allegiance is. And don't let the little fuck fool you, because he's full of shit. He hasn't really done anything. Now, Biden and the conspiracy from being placed on conservatives, the right, the Republicans, that Biden was not fit to be anything. He was showing serious signs of dementia and lots of mental aptitude downgrades in a sense. I mean, the guy, it's terrible. And that was like, no, he's not. He's fine. He's fine. No, he's not. No, he says stupid things every once in a while. And fucks up and forgets. And it's just normal. It's okay, And then people now are just, well, I don't care if he poops his pants or if he fucking trips and falls. I don't know, because I still am voting for him. So, and this is interesting to me, because this is the perception. This is the perspective that you're going to allow your leader, your fearless leader, the strength of your nation is backed by a guy that is just falling. I mean, remember that show, Creep? The guy's a creep. The Creeper, there was creepers. It was like the skeleton lady or something, and she was like half dead. It'll come to me, but anyway, it's like that's our image right now across the world. That's our image. It's bad. It's terrible. It's shameful. It's alarming. It's embarrassing. It's just freaking embarrassing. Yo, John, what's up? Guess what? I was in presidential debate with my friend. I'm going to win the presidency of pro wrestling. Hulk. Yay! Hogan, my campaign man. Oh, that's nice, bro. Good. Thank you. Good for you, sir. Here's the thing, though. And I always say, here's the thing. And by the way, I feel like by the way. It's just alarming to me how they think, how there are people out there still truly and absolutely believe that this guy is the image of our nation. He is it, right? He's the person. He's the poster boy. It's like the poster. I don't know if you've ever heard that term before, but poster boy means that's the person that you're putting out for. He's the spokesperson, right? He's the what's that guy's name in the? Anyway, yeah, I'm sounding like biting a lot. It's amazing. I'm amazed. I am just amazed beyond belief that there are people out there, after what we've seen and what he's done to the country, and now they're proposing a bill they want to stop the SAVE Act. Now, here's the thing about the SAVE Act: is the SAVE Act wants an actual American ID, right? But the problem with the SAVE Act, it doesn't say also, which they're it's almost purposely done because Mike Johnson knows it. He's not a fucking idiot, and a lot of these rhino Republicans know it. You can't. You don't want to allow immigrants to be in the census because then they can add those numbers in the states and use those numbers as they did before as votes. Because then because the numbers didn't ever made sense when, let me see, Biden had 81,000 supposedly and Trump had 71 or 74,000, 74 million. Biden had 81 million, and then there was only 140 something, 150 million that voted. Wait, there was more. There was less that voted. Yeah, it was less that voted. I don't remember the exact numbers, but they were way off. There weren't enough people that were registered to vote with the numbers that Trump had and the numbers that Biden had total. Not enough people. So where did they get these numbers? How did Trump get this many millions and Biden get that many millions? And total consensus wise, they didn't have enough. Somebody's lying. Right? It didn't make any sense. And a lot of that doesn't. Yeah, we are at the precipice, my friend. Here's what I think is vital that all of us understand. There's a group of people out there. Their goal right now, and they started their mission decades ago. Okay? We all know about seed oil now. We know that stuff's basically motor oil. And they've been putting it in our bodies, in our french fries, in our fried chicken, and our fried everything. It's terrible. Right? They need to bring back lard, because lard was good. Our bodies have been digesting lard easily and sufficiently for hundreds of thousands of years. Hundreds of thousands of years. Our bodies have, animal fat has gone through our system easily, perfectly, and it creates energy and protein. And it, by the way, there are vitamins. And here's the other thing, lard as well. But when they created seed oil, or Crisco, or vegetable oil, canola is just as worse. They said that's the stuff. It was a big marketing campaign. Lard's bad. Tallow's bad. And they cornered the market on it, and everybody fell for it. Well, that's how these things work. Right? And that stuff has basically been poisoning us forever. And then they created these things they put in your arm with these very sharp metal pins. And they've been using tons of those. When I was a kid, I had, 8? Right? You had your this, your that, your this, your that, and that was it. Now the schedule for that, on getting these things, is like there's 48. So by the time a kid's 8 years old, he's had almost 50 freaking of these things. And how many of these things did you get since 2021? That's the thing that's fucking crazy. And it never stopped anything and didn't do anything. It didn't fix anything. And if you look back at your past records of your health, I bet you they've gotten worse, much worse since 2021. Much worse. I guarantee it. Just look. Look at your health. How many times have you been in the hospital, been sick, blah, 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 blah. You just go through your history. Go through the history. You're going to find out. So there's a group of people out there that are just trying to get rid of us. Right? And the only conclude, look, they've got the money already. They have the money. They have all the money they need. They have all these wars, NATO, UN, all this stuff. They're created just so they can manufacture consent from you to go to war with some country. And you think the 99.9% of the people in these countries want to go to war? You really think so? Do you think Gaza and Israel and Palestine and fucking Iran and Israel and, you know, Afghanistan, Syria, whatever, just all, do you think these people, the people that live there, that work, that farm, do you think they want, do you want wars anymore? Of course you don't. Of course you don't. Most of this stuff is orchestrated, pre-planned, and created. Just like, it's the biggest one is Donald Rumsfeld on September 10th, 2001, had a press conference. And he came out to say that they lost $2.3 trillion. Now, in 2001, that's a lot of fucking money. Right? That's a lot of goddamn money. And then what happened the next day? And what happened the next day? And the guy that owned that property, like a week or so prior, decides to take out an insurance policy on all those towers and all that the insurance policy would pay double to almost triple what those properties were worth. Isn't that a coincidence? And the biggest one is Building 7, which was almost a half a mile away. Almost a half a mile away, at least almost 300 to 400 yards, about 400 yards, 300 or 400 yards away. But I think I marked it from base to base, corner to corner, was about 250 yards away, maybe 300. Anyway, in between that. Went down hours later at like 5:45 at night or something like that. Right? Because of fires. You know how many buildings have come down because of fires? Before that, do you know how many buildings? You guys know how many buildings? None. Because the fires don't get hot enough to burn the metal. But this one did. You just gotta look at Building 7. This stuff is so fucking, it's just so obvious. And here's the interesting part. All the paper trail that you'd be able to find where that money went and how it was spent and where it went and who dropped it off and who went where was where another one of these flying things hit the Pentagon. In that exact spot where that information would be kept. Isn't that a fucking coincidence? Yeah. No, I've got the research. There's plenty of information on it. It's everywhere. It's fucking everywhere. It's fucking all over the place. It's just funny, man. People, honestly, want to believe, you know, and that's what alarms me about Tulsa. She's not an idiot. She knows who did it. She knows how it went down. I guarantee she knows. I guarantee she fucking knows. I guarantee she fucking knows. And that's what a little alarming about me. But this is really interesting now that we have this president, supposed, who has stumbled his way. There's no other way to say it. He has stumbled his way through 3.5 years of just absolute destruction of our nation. It's terrible. Terrible. Go get a steak. You know, I used to be able to buy big, thick, juicy pack of bacon for $1.99. I think one of my favorite hats. I should have grabbed it, but I left it at Stevie's. Make bacon $1.99 again. That was the greatest fucking hat, right? Man, maybe I do have it. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, look, it's. I just find it completely interesting to me that people can actually say that they're doing better, and the only people that I know are doing better within the working poor and the homeless are the immigrants. Over 10 million. 10 million within the past 3.5 years. Do you guys know what the average amount of immigrants that usually come in per year is? The average amount that usually come in per year for the past 3, 4, 5 decades is about 400,000 or 500,000 per year. Now we're at 2.5 million every year for the past 3.5, almost 4 years. This is what they've counted. Could be a lot more. And now we have a lot of minorities that are American citizens, blacks, Hispanics, etc., that are losing jobs to a lot of these immigrants. I wonder why that is. Nah, it's not Joe Biden. No, it's not his policies. It's not his border just basically letting people through the border. This is all tactical. How do you think these mass waves of people found their place to these airports? Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You've seen it on the news. You see it everywhere. They have terminal after terminal after terminal of flights coming in, while the U.S. citizens are patted down, x-rayed, seeing everything on your body to get through TSA. But these people just come in. Oh, no, wait, let's add a little $5,000 jumpstart for them. And some of them went out and came back several times. The same freaking person from wherever has been back and forth a few times just to get that money. So what the fuck? This is not it. This is real. This is fucking real shit that's really happening. I've got all the proof in the world. I've got all the research. I've got all the information. You're welcome to fucking ask, put in the comments. But you won't, because I'm right. Because I've got that information. And I know I can just send it right to you. And I can send you the source, the references, and all the documents and all the information showing exactly what I'm talking about. And that's the part that really is amazing to me, is that I could tell somebody like that and say, this is a hat with an American flag with a bunch of tools on it. Right? See, that's so cool. I like that. Just like wrenches and stuff. See that? Hammer, wrenches. Oh, what's this right here? This is my NAGR Frontline Defense membership pin. Right? Because we got some fucked up people out there, man. Got some crazy ass motherfuckers. It's, look, I'm not a small kid. I can handle most of the stuff that comes around me, but at a certain point, if these immigrants, and that's a lot of them, right? And at least here's another statistic that this is from Democrats. The other statistic is 10% of these people are from countries that hate us. Like, fucking hate us. Like Syrians, Chinese, right? 10% of this fucking hate us from countries that we've, fucked with. It's crazy, right? And they can't catch them all. They can't see them all. They don't know all of it, right? You ever seen the movie Red Dawn? You ever seen that movie? Well, they made a remake, right? With the guy that plays Thor and all this, whatever. But the first one was brilliant. You should go watch the one with, it was Patrick Swayze who was in it, I think, or something. A few others. Was Emilio Estevez in there? I think he was in there. Anyway, but it was just, it was from within. And I'm telling you, that's a lot of fucking people. And I hope to God, and this is the thing that I'm concerned about, is if these people, and if they're trained, and if they know what the fuck they're doing, right, and if they're technically savvy, they could hit our infrastructure. Power, water, electric, right? They're not going to come to your doorstep, I'm going to tell you. They're going to take you out slowly but methodically, just like seed oil is doing. Just like fucking the processed foods that we're eating. Yeah. Average amount about 400,000 to 500,000 past 4 or 5 decades. But in the past 3 years, it's been 2.5 million. That's not an invasion. Fucking. What the fuck? Just fucking. I'm just fucking amazed. The perception. No, these people they're just trying to get work and be citizens and da 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 da. Okay. So what happens to my job? Right? What happens? Here's yeah, it's already starting to happen. If you've been just, I could show you some videos. I'm not gonna fucking do it because just look it up for yourself. 109%, I think, of jobs that people used to have are now being taken by immigrants, not legal immigrants, but illegal immigrants. Labor jobs, just whatever, and they're getting paid. They're working. They're making money. I don't have a problem with people getting paid and making money, but what about the people that legally? Here's the biggest thing. What about the people that fucking went through the civics test, who waited, who took the test, pledged their allegiance, all this other stuff? What about them? They're still waiting. There's at least hundreds of thousands of people that are still in that program trying to become citizens, while all these other people that aren't fucking citizens are just citizens. And here's the kicker, right? Now, the Demoncrats, they want them to join the military and be able to vote. You don't think that's the case? Just put it in the comments, because I got plenty of information. I've got plenty of documentation to tell you that right now the Democrats are putting forward legislation to allow them to vote. This is happening in many blue states already. Yeah, that's the way you win a fucking election. You wrongly prosecute, you wrongly, and just with this giant facade of these cases, which are ridiculous. The Trump case is so fucking funny. The one where about Mar-a-Lago, they were trying to say that place was, he over-exaggerated the amount, that it's only worth like $1.6 million. Have you been to Mar-a-Lago? All the other places around Mar-a-Lago are maybe a third of the size or smaller. And those properties are going for like, I don't know, 20 million. And then these people are trying to say that it was only worth 1.6 or something. It's ridiculous. It was only a way to try to get this guy away from being fucking voted on. The new one that came out was about Epstein, right? And I'll get you caught up on that because I think that's a good one because somebody brought that up recently, and I just like, bro, I'm telling you, it's all manufactured. It is all fucking manufactured. But anyway, let me just bring it up over here real quick. Let me go through my. Let's go together. All right, let's go together. Oh, right there. No, right there. No, right there. No. All right. So I think it's. Let me see if I can find this guy. Liu goes. No, wait, no, okay. Here, Michael Ho. Bright Insight, gotta watch that. I think I got 435 views on a short. That's crazy. I think it's in here. Hang on. It's coming. No, it's not there. Let me see. No. It's probably in here. I'll find it. It's worth watching. Oh, here it is right here. This guy. This guy says, right? This guy says, his name is Ted Liu. I think he's Korean or something like that. Democrat for sure. They got to try. He's telling everybody to go in. It's make sure that Trump has been associated with Epstein's Island. And this guy said the other day, earlier, he goes, yeah, he's been associated with him, don't you know? I'm like, that's already been, I'm not going to say debunked, I'm just going to say proven to not be true at all. And he's going, what are you talking about? So I'm just saying, I mean, I could send you the information. He goes, no, you don't have to. I go, okay, I'm just letting you know. And that was the extent of the conversation. But Business Insider, Biden's allies are pushing old stories about Trump's connections with Jeffrey Epstein. Analyst, Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, no link shown in the last documents. There's nothing in these documents to say that that's the case. They put these billboards up that, just bullshit. Democrats always love to pontificate their hyperbolic claims, especially trying to connect Trump with Epstein, which we all know that if they actually had a remotely viable link connecting them both, Trump would be in one of their kangaroo courts again. So they don't. I mean, if they really knew this, and this stuff's been out for a while, he would be in court. He would be prosecuted, not prosecuted, but he would have charges against him. Then, I mean, the Washington Post twice. Oh, that's the same one. Yes, same. Trump and different. Let me see if I had some more. But there's a few more that I found. There's tons of them everywhere. It's just saying that's just baloney. It never happened. There's nothing stating a connection. Right? And this is from the Business Insider. Business Insider is definitely not Trump supporting. Washington Post, definitely not Trump supporting. Right? They've put it more, but this guy had to throw it out there. He was the guy. Let's throw Ted out there. He'll fucking say it. He's an idiot. Get people to think that crap. But nothing is connected. And if you want the information, you go to my Facebook, go to my TikTok, go to whatever. Contact me, And it's crazy because people really believe this shit. Like right off the bat. All these statements. All these crazy statements. It's nuts. Let's see what I got here. Did I put up anything here? I think I did here. Articles. It's fucking Susan Collins. She's a Republican, and look, she's surrounded by all the Republicans. Right? All of them right there. Those are the Rhipiglicans. They're all standing together. And look at that. Lindsey Graham right there in the background. Look at him, the little shyster. He's such a fucking shyster. Right? Oh, by the way, Hollywood, if you are in Hollywood, you can shoot people. Right? They show him, look, watch. His daughter died. Her daughter died. Because this man shot her daughter. Accidentally. Right? Supposedly. Right? And they let him free. It's why it was on camera. Did they blame somebody? Has to be. I mean, there's going to be a civil case, and she's going to sue the fucking courts. And they have an insurance policy, and they're probably going to settle. But this motherfucker is going to be on SNL. Look at that, and then they get her, and then watch, now, and then they keep it on him. Is that fucking... What is that? I don't think I showed that. Hang on. Why is this thing doing this? Hang on, let me get... Is it there? Okay, yeah. See that? Isn't that nuts? Reading the verdict.
Motion to dismiss with
He knows he's good.
prejudice is granted. Motion to dismiss with prejudice is granted.
Wait a second.
Motion to dismiss with prejudice is granted.
Wow. And this happened. Yeah, that MC stuff is bullshit. So Trump said he wants to release the names and everybody off the file. He said he wanted Julian Assange freed, which is interesting that he was freed, which he had to make a deal, which I don't think everybody knows the exact details. Maybe there's a little more to it that people need to be concerned about. But anyway, he wants 9/11 to be released. He wants JFK information to be fully released. He doesn't want this release of just little things. He wants it all released. All released. But a lot of people are asking, well, we want to see all the information in regards to the pandemic. We'll see. We'll see what he does with that. I think he's holding back. I think he's not going to say any of that shit just yet. There's still some powerful players out there. Yeah, they're marketing this chick. Yeah, this it's just been a serious train wreck. Look at this guy Gallagher. Yeah. Hey, Elon. Yeah, your wife is smoking, bro. You should be. Jesus. Legacy media's propaganda machine. Yeah, it is. Uh-oh. The amount of false stories that the media spreads about Elon and Tesla incredibly high. No. Teslas are good cars, but they're just so fucking expensive. Rachel Maddow straight up people. Oh, really? You just noticed that, Jimmy? Come on, bro. How many times? You know, there's another push for more money for Ukraine. Imagine if a younger female prosecutor ran against the older convicted felon, sexual assaulter. Just saying. Ooh, that's a good one, Demoncrat. Okay. Average Democrat vote. I want to hear that.
Fucking abortion, bitch. I'll kill myself before I have a fucking baby. Take away my right for a fucking abortion, bitch. I will kill myself. And then you're out of 2 people, bitch. Now you're down 2, fuckers. I'll kill myself before I have a fucking baby. Take away my right for a...
That's crazy. I might get my fucking channel pulled. Jesus Christ. Zelensky says America will lose NATO and global leadership role if it stops funding war in Ukraine. You fucking people, and there's so many people out there that follow this little actor, fucking crack, coke snorting little shithead. Yeah. Oh, this guy is terrible. Oh, God. Wait, what's this? I want to see what the fuck.
I'm going to go to South Korea. We're going to get the chip. What are you doing? I'm going to get Japan and Korea. I'm going to go to South Korea. We're going to get the chip. What are you doing? I'm going to get Japan and Korea. I'm going to go to South Korea. We're going to get the chip. What are you doing? I'm going to get Japan and Korea.
This is not. Oh, here's my boy right here. Let's see what he says.
Americans, so America can be a great opportunity. And I think that Republicans, it's a great opportunity for us to present a vision for working Americans so America can be strong once again in the world. And I think the convention next week is going to highlight that difference. And I think that Republicans, it's a great opportunity for us.
Okay. You need a little more, my friend. Oh, God, Jill Stein. What a fucking waste. Donald Trump is free with lapdog. Oh, really? That's interesting. How would you describe this? Stupid? Trans comedy. Oh my God. President I look at it all. Israel and USA forever. You know what country? You know what country has gotten the most quote unquote foreign aid than any other country on the fucking planet? You guessed it, Israel. That are about 300 billion, and Ukraine is right behind them. Now, we've been doing Israel for, I don't know, decades. Israel. Oh, wait, what's going on here? Everyone knows that American people tend to rally behind our president in war of time of war. Well, deep state warmongers. Oh, let's see what she's saying.
To risk the future. Everyone knows that we, the American people, tend to rally behind our president during a time of war. So the question is the deep state, the warmongers, and President Biden going to use this fact to get people to rally behind President Biden now to help his re-election chances? Would they really be so demoniac and insane as to risk the future of our country, the world, and the lives of every single American by escalating the war with Russia or doing something to ignite war with China just to stay in power? They would. We shouldn't doubt this for a second. Everyone...
Yeah. They're desperate. They're going to do whatever they can to stop Trump. That's it. That's the goal. Because they can't control him, and that's the thing that people need to understand. Like I showed you in the very fucking beginning. This guy is a puppet. Let me prove it to you. Here it is. I'm going to show you the fucking the picture. And this is what he said. right from the beginning. I've been given a list to call on here. Do you honestly believe this guy runs anything? Of course he doesn't. I said this. I've fucking known this for, I don't know, for a fucking long time. At least 3 years. That this guy basically is the best puppet that the global pedo-predator class could have. He does everything perfectly for them. But now he's losing his fucking mind, so they have to replace him, which is turning into a clusterfuck and a major train wreck. Look, is that the party? Is that the people you want to stand behind? That want to bring you the greatest puppet of all times? He's done nothing for you. Nothing. If you're an illegal immigrant, he has been a wonderful person. If he's somebody, if you're paying taxes, living in this country, trying to put bread and meat and milk and food on the table, this guy is your worst nightmare. Period. If you disagree with that, let me know and I'll send you all my information. But nobody does it because they don't have anything to back it up with. Nobody does. I've at least 2 or 3 times a month, some Demoncratic supporter will come in and say something on my Facebook, and I'll go, hey, let's just come on my show. I want to know your perspective. I want to know what you're thinking. Where are you getting your information? Because it's intriguing, alarming, and too, but it doesn't seem like that's accurate. But let's talk about it. No, you're a fucking transphobic, white supremacist, Trump. I'm like, okay. Oh my God, it's fucking nuts. Right? And there are people still out there, they're not going to vote. They're just, you know what, I'm just not going to vote. Yeah, I don't know what to think. I'm not going to vote. And those are the people that are very concerning to me. Because there's something I need to say to those people. Sometimes you have to take a stand. Sometimes you got to make the sacrifice. Sometimes you got to throw yourself out there and you got to go, you know what? My heart just says I'm right. My instincts say I'm right. My gut is just saying I've got to fucking do this. Whether you're right and whether you're wrong, you've got to take a stand at something. No, I have more respect for somebody that literally believes that Joe Biden is the greatest president of all time. I really do. But if somebody goes, well, I hate both of them, I hate the whole system, I hate all this, and does nothing, you've lost my respect. Because you're not taking a stand. Are you out there protesting? Did you go out there like I did and protest? Right? Did you try to get people to mass protest? The WEF and the WHO and the Chatham House and Trilateral Agreement and all these fucking globalists and Klaus Schwab and Yuval Harari and Bill Gates and Fauci. Did you try to protest against that? No. You just waited for somebody to try to fucking save you. And I was out there. I was at the Capitol. Right? Alone. 3 times. Right? Telling everybody I could, come out, just start. You gotta start. Nobody did. But now they get it. I'm telling you, now people get it. Right? Now people understand what my fight was about. About puppets like this. So now we're with Trump. And I believe he's going to do what he can. If he doesn't, his base is going to take him down. I'm just saying. They've already secured that and made that known throughout the party. That if he doesn't incarcerate the swamp, in other words, what I've said, if he doesn't completely, not just drain the swamp, but remove the fucking swamp with the fucking bulldozers, some heavy equipment, remove it and put a fucking forever pool, you know, that drops off at the end. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. If he doesn't do that, you know, and I'm not talking, you know, this guy today I was like, oh my God, he's saying, he was saying so, he just got Supreme Court that he could kill people and he's going to kill people. And I'm like, what? Do you even know this guy? And I'm just like, oh my God. And this is the stuff they're putting out there. They're putting so much fear. They control people with fear. That's it. Control people with fear. That's all they is. They're gonna he's gonna go out and kill people. No, he's gonna incarcerate them. He's gonna put justice where it needs to be put. He's gonna have courts. He's gonna have prosecutors. He's gonna give them he's gonna have all the information. He's gonna portray it. He's gonna light it up on billboards all over the place so everybody can see it. Nothing's going to be hidden. Nothing's going to be miscomputed. There's not going to be bias anybody. He's going to do, that's what he's going to do. That's what he's going to have. He's already stated, I'm going to have fair, quotes, very transparent, and we're going to fucking, a real justice system is going to make sure that these people are held to the Constitution, the laws that are supposed to keep our country safe and secure from fucking Demoncrats and fucking sick motherfuckers like this guy right here. Wow, it's amazing. I'm fucking just amazed how people can be so easily swayed. It's fucking crazy, right? It's crazy. Did you know that Donald Trump used to hang around with Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton? Do you know who else used to hang around with Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton? And the Clintons and the Bushes and Obama and all these legislators and judiciaries and executives. You know these people? They're just rich people. Lots of billionaires hang around with legislators and people in high positions of politics. Do you know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because legislators create laws that affect markets severely. How do you think Nancy Pelosi made all her millions? How do you think most of these people in Washington, D.C., in our nation's capital, have become rich so fucking fast? Wall Street. Right? Not just that, they will build a company. They will be a part of a company that gets money from financing that the government has. They will invest. You would be surprised, and I have a list, and you can go to my blog at fthewf.org. You'll see the list of all the fucking people that are in politics that invested in companies like Moderna, invested in companies like Pfizer or AstraZeneca. Right? You're gonna be amazed. Right? Deep connection to money. Deep connection to money. Look, if I'm starting to lose you, then you just haven't been watching Montauk. But there's a group of fucking people out there, right? I'm gonna end this pretty soon. I've been on for a while. I gotta call my mom. I gotta talk to her. I haven't talked to her in a while. I just want to make sure she's okay. There's a handful of sick, disgusting creatures out there. They're humans. Well, they're not humane, they're human. And their goal is to get rid of 2/3 of the planet and hoard the rest for themselves. That's it. That's it. They don't need your money. They don't need your labor. They don't need your likes. They don't need your support. They don't need your vote because they have governments in the palms of their hands. They don't. You're in their way. They know they're not going to fucking Mars or some other universe in the next 100 so odd years, so they're just going to they're just going to get rid of you. And they're doing a great job. Especially the people that took the fucking thing. If you took the fucking thing, I keep telling you, if you're a male person and you've taken the thing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, go get a sperm count. Go get a sperm count. See how that's looking. right? See if your shrimp can, if you're not hitting like 90 million, I think it's about that, which is normal. But I'm telling you, mine was that fucking, I don't know, off the charts. I don't know what it is now. But anyway, what I'm saying, oh, and by the way, I'm not booted. I'm not poked. I'm a pure blood. I'm a pure blood. It's hard to say. I'm surrounded by people that are not pure anymore. It sucks. I'm sorry, man. I get it. The fear, the marketing, the advertising, the branding, the fucking impressions. They call them continuous. Just fear. And that's how they controlled your emotions to get you to act. But I've known this system for a long time. What alerted me to this in the very beginning was, why are the fast food joints and the liquor stores open? That's probably the most hazardous way to spread a virus is through McDonald's. Think about the process. You pull up, you order at the microphone, right? She says your order back, or he says your order back, and you go around, you hand them your card, your that you kept in your butt crack or wherever. You touch it all the time. It's got your snot and germs on it, right? You just used it the other day at the gas station, or that morning, or right before you went, and you've got your germs on it, or the money that's extremely. The germs on a dollar bill are crazy. If you only knew, and you pull out your money and your coin and all that stuff, you hand it to them, then they hand you back, right? And then they touch that stuff, and they're still wearing gloves, but they touch the register, tick, 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 they got to put in the information. And then they hand that. I've watched the process. My ex-wife used to do that. I used to go, what, that's interesting that you do that, because you never wash your hands, because nobody does. There's nobody out there that is going to sterilize their hands after every transaction or before every transaction. It just doesn't happen. And they didn't have the right PPE equipment, personal protective equipment, immediately during this COVID-19. Right? They didn't have anything. And the worst people to get sick are these fast food restaurants, because they're the people that really don't have health care. They don't have health care. They don't have like a regular doctor. They don't get paid enough. I'm just going, this really doesn't make sense. So I sent an article. I commented on an article, and then I sent emails to the legislators. I go, so why are you still keeping these places open? And some of the Republicans answered back and go, that's a good question. They probably shouldn't. Democrats wrote back going, oh, that's okay, because we I go, it doesn't make any sense. And then they posted my emails that I sent to the Herald or some local newspaper, which is in Charleston, to ask that question. And everybody was like, that's a great comment. Why the fuck is this happening? Because it never made sense. It never made sense. They touch your Coke, they touch your soda, they do this. You don't see what they're doing to your burger anyway. Right? I think every fast food place should have a big window so you can see what they're doing inside. You know who does that? In-N-Out does that. In-N-Out Burger has windows so you can always see what the cooks and everybody's doing inside. Not at McDonald's, not at Jack in the Box, not at Del Taco, not at Taco Bell. Right? They keep them tucked away in the back. Right? Not at fucking Hardee's, not at Carl's Jr., right? Not at Burger King. That's what alarmed me to all this. I go, this isn't right. And I started to use my critical thinking skills. So I started to question authority. and its sources. I just didn't question, and I was emailing this person and that person. I had Andrew Kaufman on my show, who had some really revealing information, which I think everybody should watch. It's on my Odyssey account. If you go to Odyssey, it's the links below to my Odyssey, and you can look up. It's because I had to start my Odyssey because I started losing my channels, because I started revealing a lot of information about the scam that was happening in 2020, the world scam. It was the world scam. It was fucking brilliant. I was just enamored. I was impressed. I was just, even I was intimidated, of course, because it was so powerful and how they were able to do it. I was just, this is fucking amazing. And I was always talking that way, like, God, did you see what they did today? Fucking, this is what they did today. They got these people to do this. Oh my God, now we're 6 feet. Oh my God, now the last interview with Kamala and somebody else or somebody, they were like 15 feet away from each other. It's like they were yelling at each other. It was fucking hilarious. The greatest thing I saw, I think it was end of 2001, was Jim Brewer. He used to be on SNL. 6 foot safe. Dr. Fauci. You gotta watch it. It was great. I was just like, bravo, bro. And I actually commented when it first came out. I was kind of following him before that. And he made a comment back. He goes, "You got it." I said, "Yeah, it's right there. It's all bullshit. Thank you for bringing it out." He goes, yeah, that guy's brilliant. He's a brilliant comedian. He's very animated. It's impressive. But this is where we're at. You have a puppet who reads and listens, and he coughs when he's not getting the answer he needs. I'm not hearing that. Touching his earpiece like 3 or 4 times that night. He was, what? Just your right ear's bothering you? It's always his right ear for some. He's touched his right ear. Look at all his videos, and any time he's been out talking, you could count how many times he touches his right ear. There was a time when I had video, and it's probably still on my Facebook and my TikTok, that I was showing the actual tube that went back here of him having an earpiece. That the technology got better, I guess. And I'm sure they got something really small that they can easily put in his ear or somewhere. In any case. Yeah, you're being fucking fooled. Period. All week long and twice on Sundays. I'm sorry. Just have to tell you. And it's funny because I kind of play naive at work. I don't like to be too smart. I'm not smart. I'm not a genius. All I know is what I know, and that's all I know. But I'm kind of like at work. I'm kind of like the blonde girl, right? I play dingy. I'm dingy. But if you want to go toe to toe with me in regards to politics, good luck. May the force be with you. May the Schwartz be with you. Anyway, I want to thank you all for listening. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's amazing that people still think this guy is okay to run. It's not going to happen. They're going to use Kamala. 49 to 47%. Sure. Okay, whatever. But the biggest thing that we need to do is protect the voting process, the machines, everything. And the House Republicans aren't doing it. They're not fucking doing it. They need to be just clear, right? Illegal immigrants or somebody that has came over the border that hasn't gone through the civics test cannot vote. Period. That's it. That's all. And they can't be used in census information, which means they can't have, a state can't use them as the amount of people that may or may not have voted. They need to be stricken from those numbers, because that's what they did in 2020. So and don't make it complicated. And this is the fucking problem with the fucking with the rhinos, Rhipiglicans. They're making it complicated for a reason. It's just simple. If you have not passed or become a legal immigrant, you can't vote. A legal migrant that has become a U.S. citizen, if you have not gone through that process, you cannot vote. Right? And I don't care about the anchor baby stuff right now, because that's, but if you haven't gone through that, well, and that's fine, because the babies can't vote. They're not over 18. And it's only, maybe some of them are 2.5, 3 years old, right? That's probably it. They're fucking it up on purpose. Mike Johnson needs to fucking go. I'm going to do a short take on that. I think that's huge. They need to keep it simple, and then that's it. And then you just throw it in the Democrats' hat and you say, okay, that's all we're saying. Can you do that at least? And they're going to fuck themselves. And they're going to have no other choice but to vote yes on this. But they fucking threw ID, and you got to have this, you got to have that, you got to have this. They're fucking up. They're totally fucking up. Anyway, I want to thank you for being here. Mahalo. Please do yourself a favor and do your research. Just check a little further. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, because there's a lot of information out there, and some of it can be very intimidating and alarming. But like I said, there's a group of people out there that don't need you anymore, and they're just trying to get rid of you, literally. Aloha. It's going to not leave me on a very happy ending, but that's pretty much it. Yeah. Aloha. Thank you for being here.